Hey, what y'all doing out there? What y'all doing out there? What y'all doing out there? Hey, you already know who it is. B Woods, Mr. Power Move oh 06. Hey, just don't call me a buster. Hey, tonight what we're going to talk about is this. We're going to talk about getting ahead. Getting ahead. Let's stop renting these apartments, these condos, and these duplexes. And also, let's talk about us buying multiple cars when we can only drive one car once. Let's tap right into it. All right, so with that being said, most people right now are paying at a minimum of at least $1,000 for rent, or whatnot like that. So you do the math. If you're paying $1,000 of rent monthly, at the end of the year, that's $12,000 that you've already paid someone for a place that you're never gonna own unless they decide to give you an option to buy. So think about it. The first year you spent 12,000. The second year you spent 24,000. By the third year, that's 36,000. The fourth year will be $48,000, and it keeps going on and on and on. And if you do the math on 5 years, that would be $60,000. So that's $60,000 making somebody else $60,000 richer when you could have got yourself together and got with you a realtor and find out how much does it cost for you to get the process started, for you to start to purchase a home. There's more to it than just having the money. You know, you factor in, you gotta have good credit, you gotta have the closing costs, and you gotta show that you can be able to pay for this house. If you have that, a lot of people you know can actually get these homes where they don't be paying those $60,000 after 5 years or something they're not going to own. So the pros and cons to owning and renting. Look at it this way: if you own it, now you don't have nobody coming to your house all the time every year inspecting. If you own the house, now you get more tax breaks. You don't get that tax break if you don't own a house. Also, you can make the house more special to how you want it to be versus how the renter wants it to be. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is some of the most biggest wealth that you'll ever accumulate in your life by owning your home and have ownership over your land and your property. Okay, that's why it's imperative that you start to think if this is something that you want to do, especially you know knowing that in the end you'll always have a place to lay your head, and you can always have something of value that can keep your portfolio nice and very lucrative. You know, um, and I'm getting at this because a lot of people have went their whole life and they never really thought about owning. They just thought about who got the lowest rent. What is the most comfortable for me? What is more doable? When they could have already been done paid for a whole house. I just told y'all if it was 1,000, the first year 12, it would be 12,000. 5 years would be 60,000. So you imagine 10 years would be 120,000. You know, so if it would have went to 20 years, it was 100. If it was 120,000 for 10, that means that it would be basically 240,000 if it was for 20 years. So there you go. In 20 years, you could have already accumulated 240,000 by paying only $1,000 a month. You could have paid for your house then some, according to what the price of your house would be. You know, so we'll get to at the end. I'm going to give you some tidbits on that, some more. But let's talk about the cars. With the cars, when you buy these cars, as soon as you buy these new cars off the lot, they depreciate in value. Okay, that's the first thing I want you to understand. Now, a good rule of thumb when you're going to buy a car is this: if you only make $24,000 a year or $30,000 a year, why are you going to go and buy a car that costs $30,000 if you only make 24 or 20 something thousand a year? That $30,000 car, if they allow you to get it, You're looking at paying for that 5 years or 5 years or better, give or take, a $30,000 car. You know what I mean? Not including, hopefully, your interest rate that you got on the car is a good interest rate, like, like a low, single digit percentage. Something like 6 or 5 or 4 or something like that, or 3.9 or something like that. When you start to get in these double digits with these cars, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna start to pay, almost, a car and a half for what you're about to buy. Sometimes it seems like it's almost 2 times what the car is worth. Because some people get hit with these 21% interest rates on these cars, and it's ridiculous. Even all the way up, I've seen 27%. It's ridiculous, and it's because a lot of us are miseducated on buying these cars. We just want to get in these cars. We just want to feel, good about ourselves that we finally got a car and we bought a car. But sometimes there's nothing wrong with buying a pre-used car with warranty. A pre-used car with warranty is just like buying a new car. Make sure that the miles are low on the car. It's good to research the car to see um what type of reviews the car got, as far as if it's a good, reliable, dependable car to get you from point A to point B, sometimes C. And I'll tell you, from experience, I've learned that sometimes it's not good to drive your everyday car, long distance. Sometimes it's better for you to be able to get a rental and use a rental to go on long distance trips, or you use other means of transportation and leave your vehicle that you drive every day, or your reliable vehicle, at home or in a safe place, so you don't put much wear and tear on it, because you're trying to get the life out of it. You still paying for this car, and believe me, I know I've been down that road, and I've got rid of plenty of cars as I put some miles on them, and that's what they meant for. But you got to be mindful. You still paying for it. Hey, you want to keep them low miles as possible. Maybe down the line you want to keep the car for a long time. Hey, you got to make sure you keep good maintenance up on it. So the last thing I want to tell you about these cars and both the houses and everything is this: make sure when you making a purchase on the house, or you finally want to decide to make a purchase on the house, and you decide that you want to make a purchase on the car, make sure that you keep good insurance on both of them. I've learned from those mistakes too. With those cars, it's good to have gap insurance, and it's good to have full coverage. Even sometime on them old cars that that the values that not that high on the Kelley Blue Book, you still need to have some good coverage on those cars, because it's nothing worse than riding around dirty. The key, the slang word dirty, in these cars, and don't have insurance, and God forbid you hit somebody, and then they lose their car, somebody get hurt or whatever. And now you just jack your whole life up because you want to be lazy and you want to be irresponsible and don't have insurance on that car. Same thing with a house. If something happened, if fire catches the house, or electrical fire, or whatever the case happened in the house, or a storm come through, whatever, you want to have good insurance so you can always protect your investments. Okay, you want to protect your investments. Okay, especially your homestead, especially the car that you drive all the time, because you are the number one asset to all these things we're talking about. Okay, so all in a nutshell, this whole Noel season 17 would just give you enlightenment about hey, the pros and cons of by buying a house versus renting. And when you buying a car, make sure that you look at the pros and cons of buying a pre-used with warranty versus buying a brand spanking new car that's going to lose value as soon as it come off the lot. The same thing with a pre-used, but think about it. As soon as it come off the lot, it probably dropped like 10,000, 8,000. So you out of 10,000, you try to resell it, they won't give you the same amount for that car that you bought it for, because you done bought off you bought off lot. They know you're trying to get rid of it. Hey, they're gonna lowball you. It's a game. It's a game to get played. But however, for y'all that are serious, that want to change your life, and you want to get all the way down and in on ownership, I got something for you. The financial makeover will change your life like no other. For those that are serious about wanting to change their life in those areas and getting themselves up the par with a financial makeover, hey, hit me up at 843-359-4436. Yes, that is my real number. And also, you can either hit my website up at www.nwr.com/PowerMove06. Hey, I'll go ahead and square you straight up. And if you want to have a one-on-one, you can also hit my number up to 843-359-4436. Or you can just inbox me and we can do a one-on-one and I can tell you what we got for you. Because right now, take 2 L's, make the W, and get the win. Hey, I'm telling you right now, baby, we're going to do bigger and better things this year and out in the future. Hey, get your financial makeover today, baby. And guess what? Be fearless, be courageous, and don't let nobody tell you that you can't get the win. Because we taking them L's and making the win. And let's build, baby. I'm out. Hey, see y'all later.